Friends, this is an opportunity to go back to the pages of the Bhagavad Gita, which is considered as a Brahma Shastra. The Bhagavad Gita is a very special scripture. It's not like others. It has an eternal value. And it is known as Bhagavad Gita, the celestial song. The Brahma Shastra and Yoga Shastra. Celestial song. Let us start with this. So who is that God, the celestial being? Krishna. The Hindus, they consider Krishna as the embodiment of the Brahman. And this Brahman, this Krishna in the human form, he is singing. What is the singing? That the teachings of the God. So just now, we were praying the prayer song. We were praying to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. The song has been composed by Swami Vivekananda and it is famous as Khandana Bhava Bandhana, the first line. What is the meaning? Oh God, please give me liberation. How? By taking away all my desire for this world. Khandana, cut asunder, bhava, this worldly, bandhana, the bondages. So what are the bondages? Desire. Desire for what? This world. And what is the problem? Problem is temporary. This world is completely temporary. Now if we consider it as permanent and love to get it, love to hold it, love to enjoy it, the result is always the pain. Little bit of pleasure and pain. It goes on and on. And it's not in one life, life after life. So time comes when a person will say, enough is enough. Oh God, please cut asunder all my bondages. Take away all my desires. We are praying to God. Swami Vivekananda has taught and we are praying to God, please help me. Here, in the Bhagavad Gita, God has come to help us. So that is the very speciality. God has come and He is trying to help us, and that's why it is called celestial song, Bhagavad Gita. And in this Bhagavad Gita we find that there is a historical aspect is also there. About the Krishna, there are a lot, many proofs are there. And it was enshrined in the Mahabharata. The 25th chapter to 42nd chapter, 42 chapter of the Mahabharata, total 18 chapters is Bhagavad Gita. And in the beginning of it, the Bhishma Parva, the Bhishma was the leader, so when the Bhishma was there, so at that time, at the beginning itself, and we know the story, the Arjuna was confused about his duty, so he was thinking to do something else which is not his duty. So Bhagavan, the God himself, he was giving him all advices. You know, in Indian philosophy, there are 3 books as a must. Particularly those who are students of Vedanta, those who want to know the Vedanta, there are 3 things called Prasthana Trayi. Prasthana means exit. Trayi means 3. So what are the 3? Upanishad, Brahma Sutra and Bhagavad Gita. Upanishads is the best part of the Veda. An analytical way, analyzing and trying to give the complete meaning, that is Brahma Sutra. And very simple way, same Brahman, that has been explained by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. So first is the original, the Upanishad, then the explanation of those Upanishads, and also utilizing the Upanishad, giving in such a way so that we can practice it. That is called the three scriptures, very famous scriptures, and together it's called Prasthana Traya. Traya, three. And what is the Prasthana? Going away from here. Exit. Where from we are going away? This from this world. Again and again this world is coming. So we have to go. This is the original, in the original source. And what is this world? This is a creation, temporary creation. So first thing we have to understand that this is a temporary creation. And who created it? God Himself. Out of what God created? Out of Himself. What is the material cause? God. Intellectual cause? God. And what He created? This universe. And what is this universe? Nama, Rupa, name and form. And what about God? Whether God is having the name and form or not? God is having when He is coming down and creating. But above that, Brahman is not having any name and form. So how to know? Asti, Bhati, Priya. These are the three. We will come to that slowly. So this tradition, this doctrine, now, three things, so the philosophy, the people are constantly thinking about it. When they solved all their problems and they were ready with food, shelter, clothing, then what they do? So they started thinking. This is the speciality. They started thinking about, who am I? What I am doing over here? And after my death, where I am going to go? These are the three questions constantly haunting these people. Why? If you have noticed, particularly those Brahmans, they will be taking little water in the hand, and that's all ritualistic. And the water they are purifying by uttering a very holy mantra. If you go to the temples, these people particularly, I have noticed, they pronounce in such a way that the people should not understand. Otherwise their importance is done. So they pronounce in such a way. And what actually, to purify that water, with that water they are worshipping, what is that water? They'll be putting a finger and they'll be uttering Gangeja, Yamuna, Godavari, Saraswati. And you won't understand, but if you listen properly, they are uttering only 7 rivers. Gange cha Jamune chaiva, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmade, Sindhu, Kaveri, Yalismin Sannidham Kuru. What are the 7 names? Rivers only. So why the 7 rivers? Because they were helping us. They were fertilizing the whole land. They were coming down and bringing the pure water, fertilizing the land. So all our civilization developed because of the 7 rivers. And we are so grateful to these rivers. So we remember those rivers. So the purification, see, from where to where? This is very simple. So we are purifying everything with those waters as 7 rivers. That means they gave us, this river gave us the opportunity to settle down properly and go beyond the hunger. And when we were above that, we started thinking. And when they started thinking, this is also the blessings of God, because usually the moment people, they get some money, they'll be engaging something else on carnal pleasure and all that. But these people started thinking, and that's called philosophy. They were explaining the drashtas, and some of the Sanskrit name. They saw. What they saw? They saw the Creator. They saw, understand, they understood the Creator, creation, the Creator and creation. So all philosophies, they are giving the answer to the three questions. What are those questions? Who is the creator? What is this creation? And what is the relation between the creator and the creation? And sometimes they also say that what is the relation among the Jiva, Jagat and Brahman. Sometimes they express this way. The relation between the Jiva, Jagata and the Brahman. Jiva, the individual soul, individual being. And Jagat, the phenomena that we see. And the Brahman. What is the Brahman? That consciousness. Now we all understand that there is a consciousness, the intelligent source. Otherwise nothing can be done. Now there is water, there is also tea or coffee, there is a milk, there is sugar, and there is the oven, everything is there. But then I am scratching my head. I am thinking that if I could make a coffee, then it would be all right, but how to? What to mix and with what, etc., etc. So unless all ingredients are there, everything is there, materials are there, but unless you have that knowledge that you can utilize it. Now you have to go, there is a car and the car is with the key, but still you are walking. Why? But you don't know how to drive. So the knowledge is the first thing. If you have the knowledge, and that knowledge comes from Brahman, which is that Brahman consciousness. And from that consciousness comes the Jiva. Jiva, a part of the consciousness mixed with unconscious thing. What is the unconscious? This body is unconscious. The mind is unconscious. And this body-mind complex, but they are not conscious. What is conscious? And that we call buddhi, intellectual. And that's why some people are better than others. Why? Because of the buddhi. That consciousness that manifested in such a way, so they are the leaders, they are the first. In the classroom, one boy or one girl is first. Why? Because of the buddhi. He understood or she understood better. So this way the jiva, and what is the jagat? Is all without consciousness, things without consciousness. So mixture of consciousness, unconsciousness and all these things, the creation. So they say, what is the relation actually? To explain, how many Vada means the theories came. First is Advaita Vada. Vada means theory. Then Maya Vada. Then Vibhakta Vada. Parinama Vada. Vishishta Advaita Vada. Dvaita Vada. Dvaita Advaita Vada. So if you had some paper, it could be useful. So many Vadas and theories, and each and everyone is telling, I am correct. Then ultimately came Sri Ramakrishna, Samannaya Vada. Don't fight. Everyone are telling the same thing and going to the same goal. They call Samannaya Vada. Friends, every theory or Vada has two aspects. One is Tattva Nirdesha and Sadhan Nirdesha. Nirdesha means pointing, guiding. What Tattva? What is the Tattva? What is the truth? Unless and until you know what is the truth, now please drink this milk. Why? By this way you will get some strength. What is the Tattva? Tattva is the strength. And what is that sadhan? Drinking the milk. So one is action, another is the result of the action. So tattva and sadhan tattva. Tattva nirdesha and sadhan nirdesha. Nirdesha. It doesn't means the instructions. Tattva nirdesha. Now we will go to this thing. we'll go to the acharyas who are actually asking us to do it. And then the goal, and finally the practice. I have listed in this way. First we will start with the Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya 788 to 820, only 32 years he lived. This Shankaracharya, his goal is Nirguna Brahma Bhada. This Bhada means the theory. So what is the Nirguna Brahma? Not only Brahma, Nirguna Brahma. We have to understand this. What is the Nirguna? No epithet, no quality. Why? We will discuss maybe after some time, if we have time. The guna means three things, and most of you attending the talks and reading books, you know that guna means Sattva, Raja and Tama. These are the three gunas. And Sattva guna means all good qualities, Tama guna all bad qualities, Raja guna mixture of Sattva and Raja, Sattva and Tama, the good and bad. So these things constantly going on. Is there anything that is purely Sattva? Very rare. Purely Tama? Very rare. Mostly it is a mixture. But sometimes Sattva is almost 90%, and then the Tama is only another 20% or something like that. But this is very good. So we call it Sattva, like this. But the mixture. What is the guna? We will understand that. So we have listed this thing, but about this we all know very good quality. One person, he came and snatched the bag away and pushed the elderly person at the roadside and took away the purse. Now how the another man came, he immediately came to help. How it is possible? Another man came and sometimes, the thought goes away. So he came and helped that man. So how it is possible? One is behaving so peculiarly, snatching away the bag, hurting the other person, another is helping. How it is possible? Both are human beings. One human being doing the wrong thing, another human being doing the good thing. How it is possible? These gunas. That is all. A good man and a bad man means a difference of the gunas. So this they say, so the wonderful way they explain how this is possible because of these gunas. And here we find, Shankaracharya is telling, that's Nirguna Brahma Bhada. Nirguna Brahma. What is the Nirguna Brahma? Without the qualities. The moment there is a quality, moment that either Sattva or Tama or Raja, there will be action. But in the Brahman there is no action, no movement. So this we have to understand, and Shankara said, nothing is doing nothing actually. And how to practice that, how to reach over there? He says through jnana, the path of knowledge. What is the knowledge? This is the knowledge. The knowledge is to understand there is something which is the consciousness without any qualities and no changes. Never, ever. This is very, very difficult, but nowadays it has become very popular. This is Advaita Vedanta Bhava. It has become very popular. Why? Because people can understand, the scientific minds that people, they understand this. There are so many arguments in favor, and against is also there, but in favor. We are not going to that. But this Advaita Bhava is also known as Maya Bhava. Now let me just one or two lines about the Maya Bhava. Why Maya Bhava? Creation. Now you have to explain why this creation and what is this creation. So this is called the Maya Bhava. Bhada means theory and Maya means illusion. He said, nothing has been created, only you are seeing something, like the mirage. When you are in the desert, you see the water, you see the palm tree, and you see the camels, you see everything. But when you reach over there, you find nothing. Who saw? I saw. But what your experience? Nothing. So how it is possible? Imagination. And sometimes in the summertime when you are driving the straight road, you will find in the distance the water. Ripples of water. And when you are driving, you reach over there, nothing is. You saw it. And then your experience, nothing. How it is possible? Because of Maya. And Maya has two things, superimposition. It is covering and then, first is covering and then superimposing something else. We're covering the road on which the vehicles are passing and superimposing water in it. And I see it. And this is our regular experience. So that is called Maya. So the Advaita Vada is also known as Maya Vada. The Maya to explain the creation. This is a very important point. Is there really truly the creation? The Shankara said no. Shankara to some extent is lowered down the tune. Shankara's guru's guru. He'll say no creation at all. Shankara is also bringing little, toning down that. He's telling no, there is something, you saw it, this is Maya, but whatever. His guru's guru, Govindapada, said nothing at all. And if you read the Govindapada and then if you sit and start thinking, you'll say, what actually I read? What is this? No creation? But when I pinch, I feel pain. I am there and still say, no, nothing is there. And who is this Govindapada then? So really, very difficult to understand, but that is the truth. And very uniquely, that is the truth. So this is called Nirguna Brahmavada. Friends, we are going to discuss about the Bhagavad Geeta. But in Geeta, all these things are coming. Why? Because the people are explaining in that way. Sri Krishna said something, but we are explaining in a different way. I was in Assam, and there is a group of people in Assam, they are the staunch devotee of Krishna. And they say, Ek Dev, Ek Heu, Ek Bina Nahi Kyau. Ek Dev, one God. Ek Heu, the one philosophy. And without that, nothing is there. Who is the God? Krishna. And what is the philosophy? Geeta, Bhagavata. So I told, what is it then? This way they always explain that Krishna is the only God and nothing else. They won't believe. Why? Because Krishna said, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam bhaja. You give away all the religion, all the paths, only take my shelter. That's why Krishna said, I am that God. Okay, that's also true. Again, the same Krishna said, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamaham. That is also there. The same Krishna is telling, whoever is worshipping me in whatever fashion, I am accepting those worship also. Then why don't you accept the others also? They are also going to Krishna. Through different way. No. This is the only thing. The others are wrong. Why? Because I am correct. Krishna said or what? So this is the Vada. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, don't read any this type of translations. Read the original one, try to understand. Whatever the Krishna said, that way only you should understand. So this Vada, the Maya Vada, Advaita Vada, if you feel that this is the way it's true for you. But someone came after the Shankaracharya. He is also very strong and in philosophy. He is the Ramanujacharya. And the Ramanujacharya, 1017 and 1137. So that is 120 years he survived, Ramanuja. And Shankara 32. And he is 120. So he had lot of time to criticize Shankara. So he criticized Ramanuja. And Ramanuja, he went on giving the argument, this, it cannot be. And that became Vishishta Advaita Vada. This is all based on the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, the Brahma Sutra and Upanishads, but Gita. If you read the Sri Bhashya, Ramanuja, all these things are there. They're very interesting how they are giving the argument. But if you read in the beginning, then you are gone. Why? Because when you read the Shankara, you will, this is correct. Then you are reading the Ramanuja, this is also correct. So afterwards, finally you will be completely confused. So that's why it's better only to read the sentences and what to word meaning, beginning. Then slowly go according to your taste. All are correct. That's why Ramakrishna came last. The Ramanuja, he is still qualified monism. And what is the path? Devotion to Narayana. Ramanuja's path is devotion to Narayana. Shankara is a Jnana Margi. And what is that devotion? Only knowledge and nothing else. What is that knowledge? You and God has no difference. That is Shankara. And sometimes some people without understanding, they are very happy. I am also God, you know. I know, but do you know? That you are God, I know. But do you know? The one boy was chased by a barking dog. The dog was barking and chasing. He was running. His friend saw it and shouted, "Hey, don't you know? Barking dog doesn't bite. Why you are running?" "Well, I know. Does a dog know?" He means the barking dog doesn't bite, that I know.
What good is it?
So that is the way always. I know I am Brahman, that he is telling. But do you know what is Brahman? I am God. Do you know what is God? Otherwise, simply telling won't do. You have to first understand and then it is possible. The Shankara is a Jnana Marg and this is Vishishta Advaita. This is devotion to Vasudeva. And then comes Nimbarka after the Ramanuja. And he survived 62 years. And his Vada, his theory, philosophy is Veda, Aveda Vada. Veda, division, Aveda, union, Vada. The Veda, Aveda Vada, that's the Nimbarka. He is also following the path of devotion, but to Radha Krishna. He is not Narayana, he is Radha Krishna. And how you will understand who is following what? If you go to the Vaishnava or the cult, different type of marks on their forehead. And by that you will understand this is Ramanuja, this is Nimbarka, this is Madhva, like this, like this. The Ramanujas you will always find, this is 2, the V type, and in between there is another red mark. The V will be with white and central part will be the red mark. So Sri, the Narayana with Sri, Lakshmi. So that is the moment you will see that someone is marking like that, that is the Ramanuja cult. And they are the worshipper of Narayana. And if you find only 2, that means Dvaitavadi. So we will come to that Dvaitavadi, that is Madhvacharya, Shuddha Dvaita. Shuddha Dvaita, pure duality. If you go and talk about that, Brahman will be so angry. I am different, God is different. We don't have any connection. So this Shuddha Dvaita, pure duality. And they are also the path of devotion. So how many devotion? 3. Ramanujacharya, Nimbarka, Madhvacharya. Ballavacharya, another. Ballavacharya, he called Pushtibada. What is Pushtibada? Pushtibada means God's grace. You may try, but you won't realize God unless and until God is giving you the blessings. So only for the grace of God you have to try. That's called Pushtibada. Pushti means grace. The Bada means the theory. So you have to go and praise to God and pray to God and serve God and wait for the grace, unless and until you are getting the grace. Then comes Chaitanya Deva, Achinta Veda Veda. That Veda is Nimbarka. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 400 years before Sri Ramakrishna, and he came forwarded Achinta Veda. That is also, his path is also devotion, that is Radha and Krishna. And finally, 1836 to 1886, Sri Ramakrishna. It's called Samannayavada, unification of the all theories. The unification of all theories. And what is the path of Sri Ramakrishna? 4 yogas. Jnana, Bhakti, Karma and Dhyana. All the 4 yogas. So, except Shankaracharya, all are dualist. In this form or that form, all are dualist. Except Shankaracharya. So you can understand how much criticism Shankara had to face. And before Shankara was Buddhist. So Shankara had to fight with the Buddhist. Then again he had to fight with all these people. And he kept the whole thing in such a way. The Shankara's followers, one after another, they came, they went on giving the strong arguments. And this is very interesting, because if you read, you really will forget the whole world, how they are analyzing. But basing on what? With what they are quarreling? Bhagavad Gita. Now when each and every one, most of the people will be every day morning they'll be reading Gita, not knowing for thousands of years the philosophers are fighting on one word. Shankara, he is explaining when the God said, I come, when there is a prevailing of the adharma, I come. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abbuddhyanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamaham. The why? Paritranaya cha sadhunam vinaya cha dushkitam. Now the God is coming down. He is taking the form. Ramanuja said, see, God is coming down. So what is your problem? God is all powerful. He can come. Shankara said, the moment God comes down in the form, he becomes limited. The moment he becomes limited, he is going to die. Can God die? No. Then how God came? It is Maya. As if. So Ramanuja has used the Sanskrit word Eva. Eva means as if. As if God came in the human form. We believe it. Why, you know? Because in the life of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna that was completely demonstrated. When Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was bedridden, he could not even have that strength to get up. He needed some people to help him to get up. One day Ma Sharadamani Devi found that man who was so sick coming down from the stairs and very quickly crossing the big field, running, and then again after some time coming back and going down, coming up over and then laying down on his bed. Mother came and said, you She was wondering how it is possible. Sri Ramakrishna told, have you seen me? Don't tell anyone. So how can you explain it? The man who is suffering so much, he was not, even the doctors were telling, no, it is impossible, he is going to die, like that. He got up and ran and all that. Why? That is as if he was suffering, as if he was dying. After the death, when mother was crying, he appeared and said, why you are crying? You know everything. Only I have left that body over there. But I am existing. All these experiences prove that whatever the Shankara said is correct. That's for the Vedantic point of view. Dvaitan and all that. Now, the goal of Geeta is Brahman. It's a Geeta Pratipadda Vishaya Nirguna Brahma. Geeta Pratipadda Vishaya. Now, this is a terminology in Sanskrit. And when I am reading a book, so what actual thing that is going to happen? After reading the book, what I am going to get? Now, if you read the book of chemistry, you will get the knowledge of chemistry. And like that. And some of the books they are just stories. Just to spend some time. You read the book and then leave over there, go. You need not to carry. Is the Gita is like that? No. It has an object, it is a subject. You have to understand that. What is that? Nirguna Brahma. What is the object of Bhagavad Gita to explain? Nirguna Brahma. This is in the Gita we find Sri Krishna using the word again and again, Madbhavam. What is that Madbhavam? Madbhavam upapadyate. There are many times. Nearly 4 or 5 times he had said, if the devotee is coming to me, is doing this, he will get? Madbhava. What is the bhava? Mad means the Krishna. Bhava means, this it says, that indication to moksha or the liberation. But the devotees will say, the dualist will say, no, he will get the feature of God, closeness to God, visiting God, blessings of God. Vedantan will say, no, moksha. Who is he is the Brahman in that form. So his bhava, his idea if we get, what will happen to you? We will become like that. Suppose you are going to a teacher who is a doctor, so you are practicing medicine. And after some time working under him, what will happen? He passes away, he goes away, you take his position. You become a doctor. The same standard or maybe better. In this. But in the case of the Bhagavan, no betterment. There is only that much. So Madhbhava means the Advaita Vedantins say is a moksha liberation. And Dvaitin they say near to God. The same place of God. And like that. Sayujya, Sarupa, Salukka. And what is the bhava of the real nature of God? Now again, Ishara, Ramakrishna, Satchidananda Vigraha. What is the bhava? Bhava means nature of God. Who is the God here in the Bhagavad Gita? Sri Krishna. The Sri Krishna is sometimes some people they say Bhagavata is Sri Krishna. No. Bhagavata, only 10th chapter, there is only Sri Krishna. But from 1 to 9 it is Vishnu. Then the Vishnu became Rama, Sri Ramachandra. Then again the Vishnu became Sri Krishna. And the Sri Krishna, about Sri Krishna, the whole chapter has been dedicated, it is only 10th chapter. So many people they read only 10th chapter of the Bhagavata. So here we find what is the bhava or the nature of God. It says Ishara Parama Krishna. The Krishna is the Parama Ishara. Ishara Parama Krishna. That means the Krishna, the name, is the Parama Ishara. Parama means supreme. Ishvara means the God, Supreme God. And what is the Supreme God? Next three words. Satchidananda Vigraha. See? Satchidananda Vigraha. Vigraha means the embodiment. The embodiment of Satchidananda. Again, we have to go back to Satchidananda. What is the Satchidananda? Existence, knowledge and bliss. And what is this? Brahman. Friends, we have to understand, the Hinduism means you are going to without form, again coming back with form. Again and again. Without form, with form. Without form, with form. And the without form means Brahman, and with form means God. About the Krishna it is telling, is the Parama Ishvara, is the Supreme Being, Supreme God. And who is the Supreme Being? Satchidananda Vigraha. Vigraha means the embodiment. And Satchidananda. These three is the bhava of the Brahman. Now, this Satchidananda of the bhava, and every bhava has a Shakti. Unless and until there is a power, the idea has nothing, no meaning. So there must be some power. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was visiting another one gentleman, he got the title from the Britishers, Raja. They used to give like that. So the Raja this and Raja that. The Sri Ramakrishna told, Raja means the king, but he don't have the kingdom. How can he be king? So that Raja means should have a kingdom, otherwise how can he be king? Similarly, the God has a bhava. What is that? Satchidananda. What is the Sat means? Existence. Chit, knowledge. And Ananda means bliss. Friends, we will come and conclude with that we are also the same. And Shankara is very correct in that. But before that, these bhavas are having the power. Without the power, no activity. This Sat is having a power. Shakti. What is that Shakti? If you can remember, it's called Sandhini. The Sandhini Shakti. Chit is having another power. That is called Sambit. And thirdly, Ananda is also having the power called Hladini. The Sandhini, Sambit, Hladini. If you go to any Vaishnava, that if you listen to them, they will be constantly talking about the Hladini, Sandhini. These are all the terminologies of the power. So here the Vedantin they say, Sat Chit Ananda, the Sat, the existence, how it is working, Sandhini. We will explain that. Now Vishnu Purana described this. It says, Hladini, Sandhini, Sambit, Toeka, Sarva Samsaye. These three destroy all our doubts. What are the doubts? That can God work? Yes. How it can work? Hladini, Sandhini, Sambit, through this word. Shakti of the power is known as the action or kriya. Now action or activities of the Sandhini, now I will explain about this power. I am not going away from Geeta. I am holding the Geeta. Only I am taking a little deeper meaning of it. The Geeta that usually we read, it has a tremendous depth. And here, this Sandhini, mostly we don't know about this. This Sandhini, Yaya Asti Bhavayati Karoti Karayati Cha. Yaya Asti Bhavayati. What is this Sandhini? I am existing. If you are, somebody will ask, so are you there? Yeah, I am here. Come. I am in the Ashrama. I am in the Ashrama. I am here. That means existing. I am existing. How you feel? This with the Shakti, with the power. Try to understand this. I am existing. This is a kriya. This is a work. This is through a power. And what is that power? Name is Sandhini. That much. When you read the Sandhini, you know, oh my God, what is all these terminologies? But actually we are feeling all the time, I am existing. One young man came to his father, he was a guru. He said, see, you are talking about Brahman here, there, everywhere. I can understand. Tell me about Brahman as you tell about a cow and a horse. This is a cow, that is a horse. Tell me about that. This is Brahman. Tell me in this way. You know how the father answered? You are Brahman. I am Brahman? Yes. How it is? Because you are thinking I am existing. I. Tell me. And that you, what is you? Is Brahman. Because existence. When I am thinking that I am existing, this power, the capacity to think that I am existing, is known as Sandhini. The feeling of existence, the activities, and through that the creation. The Sandhini can be mentioned as the principle of creative life. Then comes Sambit. Yaya Vetti Vedayati cha Ena Chetayate Vishyam. Ena Chetayate, Chaitanya, the consciousness. With this power of God, the feeling of knowledge, I am understanding. I don't know whether I am confusing you. But if you can understand, that is your credit. I have also not understood anyway. So now, this is the I am understanding. The understanding, that power, there's a kriya, there's an action, that has been termed as Sambit. There's a magazine published, Sambit. There's knowledge, understanding of knowledge, the power of knowledge. Now one gentleman, he was not knowing anything. So when he saw the A, B, C, D, he saw some figure, that's all. He couldn't understand anything. Then, slowly he learned the alphabets, English alphabets. Then he saw it is his name. Written over there is my name. He's so happy. That means the power of knowledge. That means the conception of knowledge. That means that power was there, but not manifested. Now it is manifested. So capacity to understand is called Sambit. Ena Chetayate Vishyam. Now suppose you look at over so many cars are going. Some people, the moment they will see, oh, this is a very costly car, almost 200,000. Oh, there is another car. Oh no, that is not. That is only maybe 35,000. So how do you know that? You know, there is a young man, he always say, he will be driving and telling, Maharaj, that car is 200,000. And you, what 200,000? The cost. And you, oh. And then another car, oh, that is cheap. I told, that looks good, but that is only 25,000, something like that. So it goes in this way. Car only, but different. How do you know? For me, all cars are cars. Because I don't know. And I am not interested also to know. And only if I get some ride that I am happy. The one person, he was giving me the ride in that car, the newly it is marketed, what's that? Without another
Tesla.
A Tesla. The Tesla car. And I told, what is the speciality? No, it is you need not to drive, it will automatically drive, and then it will switch on to the electricity and also to the gas and all those things. I told, anyway, it will reach to the airport, right? You are driving with me. Then you say, that's okay. So this way, if you know The capacity to understand is called sambit, that knowledge. And hladini, yaya hladayate hladayati cha. The Bhagavat that says, using this power, God Himself remains in bliss. I am enjoying. How you are enjoying? We always say, I am enjoying. And have you ever that analytical way understood how you are enjoying it? What is the power of enjoyment? Sometimes some people, they will come over here listening to the Swami, they will enjoy. But maybe the another person who accompanied him, he'll be bored. Oh my God, where I have come, why these people are talking like this? So this is the problem. So understanding not only that, and with understanding you get the joy. The capacity to understand and to get the joy. That capacity to feel joy is called Hladini. So this is the power. Friends, ultimately what is it? Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means existence. We feel we are surviving. I am here. Chit, I understand. That knowledge. Ananda, I know what is bliss. I know what is joy. Each and every one of us, we have this experience. But when we are experiencing, how we are experiencing? Through some power. Unless and until you have that capacity to understand, or that power, it's nothing. That power is turned like this. Hladini, Sambit and all. Now this is the power. Here's the three bhava is associated with the three power is known as God. And what is God then? Three bhava, Satchidananda, and not only the bhava, not only the feeling, with the power to you understand, that is God. This is the part of the God all this time. Now we have to understand Jiva. The God is that. Now who we are? Jivas. What is a Jiva? Individual soul. So what is the individual soul? Now it says, the God Himself, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Mamaivamsha Jiva. These Jivas are my parts. Now we have understood the God, right? Have you understood or not? If you have understood God, then what else? Everything is done. The moment we have understood God, we have understood everything. But anyway, to some extent you have not understood. That's good for me. I can talk. Now this God, He is the embodiment of Sat Chit Ananda. Remember it. Embodiment of. And we are only taking the part of it. It is the embodiment of existence. Embodiment of knowledge. Embodiment of bliss. And when we get little of it, and we are so happy, the bliss, when you get little of it, someone went to doctor, he was thinking that he's going to die, then afterwards the long operation for 8 hours and 10 hours, he comes back, oh no, I am existing. And God is the embodiment of that. Understand this. So this is the difference. No, we are trying to realize God, trying to understand God. We are the part of that God. Now from here begins the hope. So we are not all lost. We are the part of that. Here, Mamaivamsha Jiva Bhuta. Jiva is my part. So Jiva is known also as Brahma Kana. Kana means the particle. A little. So what is that little one? Brahma. Or sometimes the part of the, and he says, according to the Panchadashi, what is that Brahman? We are the part of Brahman. Small part of Brahman. But what is Brahman? Panchadashi reminds us, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma Lakshanam. Lakshana means how you will understand Brahman. Satyam, eternal, that's truth. Sometimes we call truth. That truth means eternal. It's not the false and the truth. It's eternal. Jnanam again, knowledge. And Anantam, that is also eternal. The being part, Jiva is having this. Now the Jiva, he is having three special qualities. Brahma is having three qualities. To understand Brahman, Sat Chid Ananda, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. You cannot explain Brahman. So we are going near to that, somehow to understand near to that, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. How you will know Jiva? The Jiva also, we do not know, but we are constantly practicing Karta, Bhokta, Jnata. I know. In English, whenever you talk to someone, I know, and every time you'll say, I know, or sometimes you know, like this it will say. So who is this I know, you know? The Jiva. Because Jnata, the feeling of knower, I know, I understand, I believe. So that is called Karta, I am the doer. Don't you feel like that? I am the doer, I will do. Why the conflict? Because the doership. The ego conflict. Why? Doership. In a higher level, in the administrative level, they are fighting for the president's position. Why? Doership. I will rule this country. Otherwise, those who are not having that desire, they will never run for that post. If you are having that, I will do. So, Karta. Karta means the master. Then, the Jnata, the knower, and Bhokta, I am enjoying. Suppose somebody is selected as the president, and he goes in the White House, close all the doors and windows, burn an incense sticks, and start meditating. What will happen? And all his secretaries all around say, hey, what this man is doing inside? We have to take decision. And that man is meditating. No, Karta, I will do. Bhokta, all people are coming to me, I am enjoying. That Bhokta and Jnata. So, are you truly a Jiva? If you are, then you must be having these qualities. Think of it. Are you not having this? Each and every one are having. So I am speaking, I am listening, I am learning. Who is this I? Karta. As a master, I am doing. And the Bhokta, I am enjoying. This is my house. My house. The moment you say, you feel, oh yeah, this is my house. And that you enjoy. Now friends, very clearly, there are two clear distinctions. One is Jiva, another is Brahman. And the Brahman, as because we cannot understand, we say God. Now what is the speciality of the Brahman? Sat Chit Ananda Sarupa. The Sarupa is very important. We are also Sat, we are also existing. We are also Chit, we also have the knowledge. And Ananda, we are also having some joy. But we are not the Sarupa, embodiment. There is a huge tons and tons of milk. And you take a glass of milk from there. So that is the source of the milk. All milk is there. And you take a little part. We are that small little part, Jiva. The Brahman, they are having Satchidananda. Jiva is also having some speciality. Otherwise they won't be considered as a Jiva. What is that? Karta, Bhokta, Jnata. We do say that a creeper or a tree, Jiva? Yes or no? The Karta, Bhokta and Jnata, are these three qualities present in that? If not, then it is not a Jiva. And those who are having these three qualities, so this is very important. I am going to realize God. I am going to march in the ocean. But if I don't have the idea what is ocean and what I am, then what is going to happen? So if you go, the small rivulet coming and mixing with a big river, oh, I am in the ocean. This is wrong. You have to understand the ocean. What is that ocean for us? Brahman, God. And what we are also having three qualities, Karta, Bhokta and Jnata. This is called Karma Shakti or the conation. Karma Shakti or the conation, that is derived to do the willpower actually. The Karma Shakti. What is that? Karta, Karma Shakti. I like to do. Sometimes some people lose all hopes. They will never do anything. The others will go and then they will go on encouraging. You can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Swami Vivekananda, he mentioned about our America. It's a beautiful country, wonderful country. Why? As Swamiji was very happy that when you come to America, you see the people who are coming from the Eastern Europe, haggard, their heads are hanging on their chest. But after living for a few days in America, they get the self-confidence. As if the ear in the America whispering constantly, Pat, you can do it. Pat, you can do it. And slowly they get the self-confidence. I can do it. So this is the way. Even today, when we go back to our country, India, that those people, they come and say, oh, you are from America, right? And what? What is from India and America? But still they feel America is higher than us. And many of our devotees also, when they reach over there, they hear they are simple. But they are now, in America, we go to this and we do that. Oh, you are drinking in this type of glass? No, there we don't use like that. Why? This is the difference. Some people, they are afraid to say we are Karta. Here they say, I am Karta. I am the doer. I am the master. The self-confidence comes. What is that self-confidence? That power? It says that Shakti. That Shakti is conation. Again, Bhokta, the enjoyer. The enjoyer is Ichha Shakti, that is called emotion. And finally the Jnata, the Jnana Shakti, cognition. Now, the last thing I will say today, now we are making a table. One is Brahman, another is Jiva, individual soul. What is Brahman? Sat Chit Ananda. What is Jiva? Karta, Bhokta, Jnata. And what is this Sat Chit Ananda? They are having three power. Remember? Sandhini. That Sandhini for the Brahman, for the individual Karma Shakti. Then Hladini, the power of joy for the Brahman, for individual Ichha Shakti. And Sambit. What is the Sambit? Jnana Shakti. Ichha Shakti means Ananda Shakti, Jnana Shakti. So one is power, love and wisdom. Power, devotion and wisdom. Karma Shakti, Ichha Shakti or love and Jnana Shakti, wisdom. Why all this? The whole evening has gone with this discussion. Why? Because in the Bhagavad Gita we will find this Karma Shakti, how to understand this Karma Shakti and utilize this Karma Shakti for God realization. As a Jiva, I am already having that Karma Shakti. And the same Shakti, it is there in the Brahman as Hladini. Only the terminology is different. Because it is huge. So, it is Sandhini, Hladini and Sambit. For me, it is Karma Shakti. Now the Lord Krishna has come The God himself has taken the human form, and he knows that the jiva is having that power to help the jiva to realize God. He has developed karma yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita is the karma yoga. And if you don't have the capacity to work, and I go and tell, hey, you do this work, that will be useless. A man is having nothing, and if I say, stand up and run, is of no use. So when the God is coming down to us and then teaching us, the karma yoga means we are having that karma shakti, and that karma shakti also a part of the quality of jiva, and how to utilize that shakti to realize God. Then Ichcha Shakti is Bhakti Yoga. And finally, Jnana Shakti is Jnana Yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita we find these three things: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. And also, to do this you need the concentration of your mind. That's a Dhyana Yoga. So the Gita is the combination of all the four yogas. And friends, tomorrow we will see how Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna also when he is giving the teachings to the devotees, using the same word, same knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita in his own way. We will try to understand that, the Gita and Sri Ramakrishna tomorrow. Now if you have any question today, then we can try to understand.
We have a mic, please use the mic.
The whole purpose is to understand that I can realize God. The whole purpose is to understand that I am God. Only this very moment I am not aware about it. So I have to work in such a way so that I can manifest that supreme power that is already hidden within me. It's like going to a school. When you go to school, and if you look at the future of that young man, the student that's standing over there, and say, oh, you will be the vice chancellor of a university, he'll say, sir, not so much. I can understand mathematics, I make so much mistakes and all this spelling, and I am getting all the time the rebukes from the parents, and you are telling that I can become the vice chancellor of the university. But that person may say, I can see that you are going to be. How it is possible? Because potentiality. The same thing happened in the life of Swami Vivekananda. When Sri Ramakrishna saw him, he saw him through and through, and immediately said, this young boy, he was 16, 17 years, is going to shake the whole world someday. And he was going on praising Narendra. And the young boy told, sir, I know you love me, but don't praise in that way. The people will laugh at you. But everything became true. How? He could see. The same potentiality that we are having, someday we will be, as Swami Vivekananda said, someday we will be like Jesus. We will be like the Buddha. Why? The potentiality is there. And how that potentiality, not simply we are explaining. This is the beauty of the Hinduism. They go to the root and find out why they are telling like this. Emotionally? No. Sometimes just to encourage you say, oh, someday you'll be slow in this and that. But not with much analysis. But here they, with the analysis. The Brahman is this, and Jivas are this. Brahman utilizing this power for creation, for enjoyment and all that. You are also having the same power. Now it is having huge and you are having small. You have to develop that same power in as maximum way. So one day you too become Brahman. Brahmavid, Brahmaiva bhavati. What is Brahman? That supreme knowledge. And slowly, step by step. And how it is possible? Bhagavad Geeta. How the Geeta is helping us? Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. All the yoga means union. And how can I perform the work? Because already you are having that capacity to work, isn't it? Karma Shakti that we are already having, we are also doing not knowingly. But if you can utilize that power in this channel, in this way, you will reach over there. That's all. So this is the way. You know, when they teach the swimming, if you throw a person, he will swim to survive. Then the trainer comes and say, use your palm in this way, so the maximum water you can pressurize. And then use your hand in this way. Utilize your every way, they will be. Then your legs, how you are throwing the legs inside the water so that your body can go. Take the breathe in this way. Once you take, you have to go far. So all the training, that boy somehow, he was surviving, he was floating. Now he's swimming like a fish. Training. So Bhagavad Gita is giving us that training so that we can swim towards the Brahman. And ultimately we'll see there is no difference between me and God. Only I was thinking that I am small. That tomorrow, there is not much time, I think one session, right?
Two sessions.
From 3 to 4. 3 to 4:30 and then again 7. So we will try to understand and how Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna utilizing these teachings of Gita, his advices. So okay friends, if you don't have any question, you will say Shanti. Any question? Yes sir.
Sorry I joined late and please accept my pranam and your feet.
I'm sorry, I joined late. So I understand, we are trying to connect with the Brahman and we're trying to realize God, but I don't understand why should we? And if it is that important, why we're not teaching it to everybody? Why are not like graduate school or high school? This is something we should be teaching like kids from the get-go. So I'm just really confused about that. Like, so what we are taught is like you should study, you should earn money, you should marry, have kids. And like why is it secondary if it is so important?
You are very correct. So Swami Vivekananda at the fag end of his life he said, if anyone gives me a son to mine, so I will teach him how to meditate. I won't send him to school. And if he can control his mind, he will know everything, just in a flash. But the thing is, the world goes in his own way. So we are so very careful about the body. Every nook and corner, any place you go, the gym is there. And then so many doctors are there. So any problem, immediately you have to go to a doctor and they will ask you to go to meet this man. So we are careful about our mind. We are careful about our body. But we are not careful about our soul. We do not know that there is a soul. Many of the people, they don't understand what is the soul. They do not know that there is a soul actually. Without the soul, the mind and body will be of no use. This is the problem. And because of this, the God is coming down and taking different form in different places. He is taking different form and different language in different fashion. He is telling the same truth. As Jesus 2000 years before, he said that heaven is there within you. But people couldn't understand. The heaven is there. People couldn't understand. Within me, heaven, what is that? I and my Father in heaven are one. People couldn't understand. What does it mean? And you are also the same. Blessed are those who are pure in heart, for they shall see God. They couldn't understand what is the purity. So because of these, again and again, God is coming down and then giving the teaching. You know, sir, that this is the way we understand. And this is the tug of war. God has created this universe. And He has made some power that takes our mind dragging down to the creation. And we are constantly going, sometimes joy, sometimes the suffering, pleasure and pain. And sometimes we see, oh, look at that man sitting by the side of the river meditating, how quiet and charming he is. Why? He can do and I cannot. Then the thought comes. So again the God start helping us. They go to that person, go to that ashrama, listen to that. Slowly God is helping. Otherwise you won't be able to come over here. Why you felt that I should go? Why you felt that I should learn? Millions, and all the neighborhood people are so nearby. They won't come. And you are driving almost from a distance, coming over here. Why? That desire is also a blessing. And from here it starts. So journey towards the Supreme begins with this. What is this? Experience. What is the experience? Experience of life. That is the thing. Yeah.
Swamiji, when is this on?
It's on.
Yeah.
When a jiva realizes that they're a Brahman, how does their life change?
When a jiva realizes that it is Brahman, how?
How does the jiva's life change?
Yeah. Beautiful question. And in the second chapter, this question was asked by Arjuna to Krishna. Krishna was going on telling the Atman, Nainam chindanti shastrani, Nainam dahati pavaka, even the sword cannot carve, or the fire cannot burn, water cannot. So he was going on telling like that. And the Arjuna asked, is there any person who realized that? Or simply theory? See the question. And if someone has realized that, how I will understand or recognize that man